Okay, I see the reactions. Just letting people in still. Okay, guys, I think it's safe to say that I can start. Those who joined during the lesson, I'm trying to record this lesson, so hopefully the audio is clear. And if it is, I'll send it to you guys. All right, so I know there's a lot of newcomers today, especially I think 26 more people have joined, which is good. Welcome to first year. If this is your first year, it should be, but if you did extended last year, then you already kind of know the roots of accounting. Then there's those people who did accounting in high school, so you have a brief or a little bit of a background in it. But then there's those who are very uh, quite literally new to accounting as a whole. They didn't do it in high school, but because of the course they chose to study, it's something that they're required to do. So for those people, I suggest do not panic. A lot of people have asked me how to navigate through that. And honestly, everyone is kind of on a fair plane because you're going to learn a lot of new concepts. Standards are much more different, they are stricter. We have different names and terminology as compared to high school accounting. So it's best for you guys to expect that, right? But overall, it's not difficult. Like I said yesterday, it's all about time management as a student and also the amount of time you put into studying, because with more practice you will be able to solve questions and equations quicker, which will allow you to also navigate through the clock being against you in assessment opportunities. Okay, so for those who are new, once again, if you are new, please just react. Let me see or try gauge how many new people I'm speaking to so that I can maybe recap a lot about yesterday, and also considering a bit of the class didn't understand some of the concepts. So we'll definitely be going through those things again. Okay, quite a lot of new people. Nice to meet you guys. Welcome. Okay, great. So I'm just gonna go over the notes that I went over with the students. This is not like the academic notes per se, but just a little bit of tips and advice to navigate through the year. Okay. Um, Manage your time, right? First test is out of 80 marks, right? You're testing the waters. Okay. The concepts there are not too difficult. Like I was saying yesterday, a standard is followed in accounting. So essentially, nothing much can change except for the scenario they put in the questions. So instead of it being a truck, it could be machinery, but those will fall under the exact same bracket, and you'll treat them the same due to them being assets. Obviously, you would need to know the difference between what? Current and non-current assets. Current being assets that are expected to be in an entity for a period no longer than a year. So maybe 9 months, 8 months, somewhere around those lines. And then a non current asset would be like a lease or leasing a truck for transport. And essentially, it's non current because we are expected to have these assets for longer than a year, right? Sorry, I just ended up jumping into content, but I hope you do have notebooks and a pen so you can write notes. All right. And then just a few tips to help you equip yourselves to be ready for exams and semester tests. You will need to ensure that you utilize the following. Okay. Utilize your tutors, right? The tutors are those that you go and see on your timetable. All right. You'll have a 45-minute session with them. They will teach you what you were taught in your lectures. And to be very realistic, lecturers are technically only at UJ for the sake of research purposes. That is their predominant job. So they don't really hold your hand. Do you understand? They provide everything on a platter, but it is your job to navigate the work and actually do extensive research, extensive studying in order to be in the upper echelon of academic achievers. That's essentially the whole scheme, right? And then you have tutors who then go through homework with you. So a lecturer is typically going to teach you, let's say, a topic which will come up later in the semester. But let's just say they're teaching you VAT. You're going to have a VAT lecture, 1 hour and 30 minutes, and then you'll be given homework. These are what are known as tutorial questions. Okay? These tutorial questions are what UJ sets their papers based off of. So they usually give you no less than three, but if it's a PPE question, property, plant, and equipment, then essentially what will happen is they'll question you on that topic, right? Just give me a minute. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Just letting a few more people in. Essentially, they'll question you on that topic in your question banks, and then in the exam or the semester tests, they will change around a few words, change around the order. When you start doing question banks, you'll understand what I mean by all of those things, right? And then there's also past papers, which is another thing that you need to use. Hopefully, you did that during matric, where you do a maths led past paper to predict a paper that you would be writing in present time. That's what you need to do at UJ, right? You will need to do the past papers so that you can accurately predict at least 60% of what is expected of you from a semester test or an exam. Okay? And then another optional thing that you can do is make friends, guys. Study together. Be nice to each other. Right? Study groups are very key. Exam season gets so tense that there's cross night sessions. So you can literally go to A-less GO1 or GO2 with a cup of coffee and a blanket. Very common during winter exams. And you just study there the whole night. What I do urge you guys to avoid though is studying the night before, because that puts too much pressure on you. And the truth of the matter and the reality is you will fail if you're going to pull overnight stunts. Okay, that is why we are already working, and I'm so amazed by you guys. Please give yourselves a round of applause for already being so committed to learning at such an early stage. I can see why this matriculant group got the best achievement this far. Spam clap hands in the chat, guys. I am so grateful to have you here and proud that you guys have made it thus far. Okay, perfect. Now that I've gotten into the intro, all right, let's get to today's agenda, which is the conceptual framework. Okay? But before I do, can we please engage in the chat box? For those of you who came to the class yesterday, can you please just type in a topic or abbreviations or anything that we learned about yesterday? If you're gonna type like a short sentence, please, I'm gonna give you guys like a minute to do that. I just want to tutor based off of the ideas of what those that were here heard. So what you heard is what I'm going to read and add on. Essentially, there are no wrong answers. I'll just be editing. Okay, so I'll give you a minute. Please, can I have some engagement? What were some of our topics yesterday, guys? You can also answer via mic. If you've put up your hand, you can unmute yourselves. I see IASB. Okay. Yes. Someone please type out the full name for IASB. It's even on the screen. Okay, no one is typing, guys. What's going on? Do you guys not know, or are you guys shy? Okay, I'm seeing the messages. International Accounting Standards Board, yes, 10 marks. What else, guys? We didn't just learn about IASB. What else did we learn about? Yeah, someone typed it full name, International Accounting Standards Board. Okay, no, wait, that's not the one I was. Yes, there we go. Asset, debit on the plus side, credit is a deduction. Okay, let me go to the chat, guys. Give me a second. I'm seeing many answers. Thing is, chat is speaking. People want to join, so I'm getting a bit confused. My bad. Okay, perk. Someone said perk. The person who said perk, shout out to you because we haven't even gotten to perk. So shout out to you. We will learn about perk just now. We will learn about perk. Reporting date, reporting period. What is the difference? Okay, I think you guys are getting the gist. SFP. Okay, guys, someone type what's the full name of SFP. Someone type the full name of SCE. Someone type the full name of PL. And also, everyone open the chat so you can just get a brainstorm of what went down yesterday. Statement of financial position. Okay, guys, what three elements are dealt with in the statement of financial position? SPL, statement of profit or loss, is the PL statement for those who are new. Don't worry, we will get to it. Just get familiar with the concept. Okay, someone said income statement. Yes, that is mostly a high school principle. Here we know it as the statement of financial performance, the statement of comprehensive income in second year, and the statement of profit or loss, which is PL, which is what you guys need to ensure that you are comfortable with. Okay, with the people with their hands up, Agnes, if you'd like to unmute your mic to speak, you can. If not, you can just put down your hand. Okay, someone said the importance of stating SFP and PL, right? Yes, there was a recap on the accounting equation and also reminded us about the debit and credit sign. Yes. So I'm assuming that since you're saying reminded, Asakanya, since you said reminded, you might have a bit of prior knowledge. And yesterday just sparked some ideas. Okay, perfect liability. Okay, guys, thank you for your engagement. Thank you very much. Let us now carry on. Okay, so for those who were here yesterday, unfortunately, I'm going to have to be repetitive because there are students that missed yesterday's lesson. All right, so you're getting the knowledge twice. I feel like it should sink in. As I've said, in a typical, okay, let me pause here. Dion, with your hand up, if you'd like to speak, please unmute. Guys, please make sure all your mics are muted. Everyone. Okay. Okay, so no question. Had a great lesson yesterday. All right. Thank you very much for the feedback. Okay, hopefully today is also clearer for those who didn't understand. Okay, guys, so if you guys just check on your dashboard, there's a lot of options you can use. There's the raising hand, right? There's the raising of hand. So if you raise your hand, please ensure that you understand that you want to speak, because I think people are getting confused with the emotes and the hand raise. So just navigate through that so that I understand that when you raise your hand, you actually want to answer a question. So I don't think I'm babbling and I'm not letting you speak. Okay, cool. Let me continue. Okay, so yesterday, unit one, what you're gonna get is technically an introduction, and the introduction is the history and development of financial accounting. Okay, so if you did BCom extended and you had Fram A as a module, you would remember that there was a whole paragraph that they might have made you write out based on the history of accounting, but it's not necessarily important in a test structure. So I'm not going to dabble too much on that, right? But one thing I can mention is a formidable principle, which is the GAAP. I didn't list it here because they don't mention it a lot in this syllabus. But GAAP stands for Generally Accepted Accounting Principles. All right. So if you have your notebook out, please take a note of that. right? That's just a brief history. Fields of study. Obviously, you guys, if before you chose this course, you would have had to contemplate as to why you're choosing to do accounting, finance, business management, economics, so on and so forth. And we all know that as accountants, you can be an auditor, you can file tax reports, you can be a chartered accountant, and you can study all sorts of modules and degrees, which can initially lead you up to the same thing. In a sense, become finance, you have the most options, but you can still be an accountant because you chose to study become finance, and as a result, you will have to do accounting as a module. Okay, then we're going to move on to the International Accounting Standards Board, the IASB. Very important, guys. Very important, because later on you will hear me refer to it just now. But the conceptual framework assists the IASB, which is the board, right, to create general purpose financial reports that are useful to users, right? So there's different roles in order before users can actually use financial statements to interpret financial position, profit and loss, so on and so forth. Okay, so the conceptual framework is essentially a link between the IASB creating general purpose financial reports, right? And could someone just type in the chat box, what are the three general purpose financial reports that you will be studying in Accounting 1A? Has anyone given it a shot? What are the general purpose financial reports that we spoke about yesterday, guys? Yes, that is true. That is true. But I'm talking like the reports. What are their names? What are the names of the reports? Let me rather ask it like that. What are the names of the reports that are created by the IASB? Okay, yes, statement of financial position. That is one. Thank you, Renelwe. That is one. Can I please have the second one from anyone else? So, to the new students, general purpose financial reporting is essentially reporting the entity's financial position to the users of general purpose financial reports. We will get to that slide just now. I'm just jumping ahead. Statement of comprehensive income, yes. Kwena, please kindly remember that, and also Akama. I hope I did not pronounce that. But statement of comprehensive income is basically the statement of profit or loss, right? But you need to understand, when we're in first year, we still call it the statement of profit or loss. But when you get to accounting 2A, that is when you start calling it the statement of comprehensive income. Hopefully that makes sense. Yes, okay, I've got all of them, guys. So now, recap from the ground up. Okay? International Accounting Standards Board, right? They essentially create general purpose financial reports with the assistance of the conceptual framework, because it guides them, right? It guides them in creating lucrative financial reports. These financial reports in question are known as your financial statements as well. And the three financial statements you'll be doing this semester is the SFP, which is the Statement of Financial Position. the SPL or just PL, which is the statement of profit or loss, and then the SCE, which is the statement of changes in equity. All right, so those are your three statements. Okay, and under these statements, there are key accounting principles and concepts that are dealt with. So for the statement of financial position, we have assets, right? We declare our assets there, we declare our liabilities there, and we also declare our equity there in the SFP, statement of financial position. Okay, is everyone with me? Thumbs up before I carry on. Okay, perfect. Then the next one, the next financial statement is the statement of profit or loss. And in this statement, we usually declare our income and our expenses. That is the main purpose, and profit, obviously, right? This statement gets a bit more difficult in second year, but don't worry, you're not there as of yet, so you don't need to stress too much about that. And then the statement of changes in equity, for now, the most important concepts that you will be dealing with are drawings and what is it called? Investments, like capital that the owner of the company may invest or take out. And taking out money from a company that you own is known as drawings. And an investment in the company you own is known as capital. Okay? So that was a whole mouthful about the International Accounting Standards Board. So understand that it's important. Okay, in terms of testing you, nothing too serious, right? Theory questions are usually 15 marks to 20 marks, so that's okay. Now, what else do the International Accounting Standard Board do? They develop international financial reporting standards known as IFRS, right? So these are the standards that we report according to as accountants, right? These are principles that need to be followed. Hence why I say when they test you, they are testing you on a principle that is consistent throughout the world, that cannot be changed. They will try to trick you when they test you, but it's nothing that you won't be able to handle, right? Promote the use of IFRS. Once again, they promote the use of these standards in the financial statements, right? Financial statements are quite literally, excuse me, let me just mute this person. Financial statements are quite literally ran under the principles of IFRS. IFRS being International Financial Reporting Standards, which is developed by who? International Accounting Standards Board. So I hope that this little section here makes sense. Now let us get to the conceptual framework, the infamous conceptual framework. Okay? Right. Again, please engage with me, guys. In the chat, 2 or 3 people. What do we know about the conceptual framework? Let me just do this. What do we know about the conceptual framework? I'll give you guys like a minute or 30 seconds to just brainstorm. And for those who are new, please just give me thumbs up to indicate that you're okay so far. Everything's making sense. Okay, while I wait for answers in the chat about what we know about the conceptual framework so far, someone asked the question, what is SPL again? Is it statement of profit or loss? Yes. Yes, it is. And you must, guys, please also take key notes to your abbreviations. I showed the students yesterday a typical journal entry format that you will need to know how to do off by head. I will show it to you guys as well. But you must be very aware of the headings of SFP, which stands for Statement of Financial Position, essentially meaning when you are journalizing an asset, If it's an asset, if it's a liability, or if it deals with equity, you need to write the abbreviation next to whatever the item is. Okay? And then with profit or loss, same thing. If it is an income or an expense, you then write PL next to whatever the item is. Right. So is everyone too shy to answer? Or did you guys forget? All right, there we go. So IFRS, it helps to assist the IASB in revising and developing IFRS principles that are based on consistent concepts. That is perfect. Conceptual framework is not a standard and cannot override standards. Also perfect. Okay, I'm just going to carry on with those two so that I don't waste too much time. But that's lovely, guys. Thank you very much for answering. So the conceptual framework, the purpose, right? The conceptual framework's purpose is to assist the big boss, which is the board. Who is the board? The IASB, right? In developing and revising
Hello.
IFRSs. Yes. Hello, how can I help you? Hello? Would you like to ask a question? Okay, I'm just gonna carry on. I hope everything's good. Where was I? The conceptual framework, right? The purpose is to assist the International Accounting Standards Board in developing IFRSs, right? We just spoke about IFRSs that are based on consistent concepts to help the preparers. This is a key word. There's the board, there's the preparers, right? So preparers is also a key word to develop consistent accounting policies, right? To develop, basically, you must remember consistent accounting policies as CAP. But then again, this theory, they're not going to stress you too much about it. This is just for everyone to have a broad understanding of what laws we'll be following when we are presenting our work. Okay? And to assist all parties to understand and interpret IFRS. Guys, the parties that need to understand and interpret IFRS are the users, right? Now we get to the point that the conceptual framework is not a standard. So yes, of course, it is a very important tool in creating quite literally every document, statement that accountants use within similar industries, I'd like to say, right? As much as it is very useful and important, it cannot override any standards. So standards take precedence, all right? And standard has different definitions to the conceptual framework, which we will get into, right? For today, we don't need to go too much in depth. Okay, I want to actually be able to finish the theory slides so that we can start working with the double entry system. Please, can you just by a show of emojis and emotes show me who understands the double entry system? Does it ring a bell for anyone? Okay, that's lovely. Let's see. The IASB, right? So the IASB, one thing you need to know about the IASB is that it shows no loyalty to anyone, right? It uses principles the way it wants to in any way that it benefits it, right? So it can draft a new and revised framework. Okay, so the conceptual framework is replaceable very quickly and very easily, all right? And it can depart from the current conceptual framework with reasons. So the IASB has the right to do so. Okay, so the conceptual framework's days are essentially always numbered when it comes to the IASB. Okay? And then we get to what I jumped ahead to, which is the general purpose financial reporting slash reports, which are the statement of financial position, statement of profit or loss, statement of changes in equity. There's another one that you do in accounting 1B. Okay, someone is just sent a question. Please repeat. I didn't get that. Okay, please tell me. Give me a keyword to start again from, because I said quite a lot since the last time I asked for you guys to engage. Which part is confusing you, Sanele? Just give you a minute. Oh yes. Oh, from where I asked the double entry. What did I say after that, guys? What did I say after the double entry system? Is it the conceptual framework that's confusing you, or is it this part? Is it after the fact that it is not a standard? Yeah, okay. It not being a standard, okay. No problem. To the person who just raised their hand, please may you unmute if you have a question. If not, I'm just going to continue.
Yes. Yeah. Hello, sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, thank you. How can I assist?
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask about. You talked about something like IASB.
Yes.
Part. Yeah.
Excuse me?
I didn't get that part where you explained
The IASB.
Yes.
All right. So the IASB is essentially the head of the table at this current moment. Okay? Because it is the board, right, that facilitates the creation of general purpose financial reports. Okay? So this is the IASB's main duties: development of international financial reporting standards, which is also known as IFRS, right? Call it IFRS, right? And the IASB, once again, head of the table, creates IFRS. Okay, so IASB is the father of IFRS, and like a father, it promotes IFRS. It wants IFRS to show its true value in the world, essentially, and promote and facilitate the adoption of IFRS. So if there are people who are doing accounting that does not include IFRS, the IASB is there to ensure that IFRS is adopted, right? There should always be a place for IFRS according to the IASB. So that's the IASB in a nutshell. Hopefully that makes sense. Do you have another question? Because I see your hand is up.
No, thank you, sir.
All right, perfect. And then the next question. Okay, guys, Sanele, you have your hand up. Would you like to speak? Okay, it doesn't need to speak. All right, Sanele, I'm going to answer your question now. So you said about it not being a standard. Okay, I see. So now let's go to the conceptual framework. Run through that again, right? Then, after we get to the IASB and IFRS, father and son, we get to the conceptual framework, right? The conceptual framework, let's just say the conceptual framework is the mother, because what does the conceptual framework do? It assists the IASB in developing and revising IFRSs that are based on consistent concepts and to help preparers to develop consistent accounting policies, right? Preparers are essentially accountants. You are a preparer as an accountant. Okay, one more time, guys. Who, Lutando, your hand is up. Would you like to ask a question, or is that just a technical glitch? If you would like to, please do unmute your mic, or you can lower your hand. Okay, I'm going to assume that you don't need to ask. Okay, where was I? If a conceptual framework is the mother of IFRS, IASB is the father of IFRS, right? IASB develops it, promotes it, and ensures that everyone must use it, right? When they are doing the accounting and presenting general purpose financial reports. And then the conceptual framework comes to add the cherry on top. The purpose is to assist the IASB and revise IFRSs that are based on consistent concepts to help preparers develop consistent accounting policies, CAP, and to assist all parties to understand and interpret IFRS. Okay? So now you can see the conceptual framework is very important, right? I cannot stress its importance enough, but, okay, but it is not a standard, okay? We are going to get into standards, don't worry. We're just telling you that accounting standards overwrite the conceptual framework if it's a choice between them, okay? So essentially, let's say the standard is the real mother, plot twist, and the conceptual framework is the stepmother, all right? So essentially, the real mother comes first. Okay, that's the simplest way I can put it. Does that make sense? As in terms of the standard part, do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? Okay, okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, Renilwe, you don't understand. Okay, can you please uh unmute your mic if you're not too shy and just tell me what part I'm losing? Oh, you understand. Okay. Now, it's not a standard and it cannot overwrite any standards. Okay. So if an accounting standard says 1 plus 1 is 7, even if the conceptual framework wants to say 1 plus 1 is 2, standard comes first. It's just a law. Okay, we're just giving you a law here, right? Standards take precedence, and a standard has different definitions compared to the conceptual framework. Okay? Perfect. The IASB now, what it can do is it can draft a new or revised framework and depart from the current conceptual framework with reasons. So look at it as like a kind of like a toxic relationship. I'm sure you guys know a lot about that. Okay? Essentially, the IASB can just say, you know what? Conceptual framework, I'm replacing you, right? The conceptual framework is replaceable, okay? So standards come first, right? First wife, no, okay, let me not say first wife. Let me just say wife comes first, right? And guys, please, we are monogamous, okay? Behave, be good students, study, stay away from relationships, child course, like you're insane, okay? Is everyone with me before I get into general purpose financial reporting? Spam likes in the chat. Go crazy. I want to see a lot of emojis to show that you guys are here, engaged, understanding. I want to see all 87 names. Yes. Spam, spam. I like it. I like it. Okay. Lovely. Now we are at, the call is ending in 15 minutes. Okay, I will be done by then, hopefully. But we are now at general purpose financial reporting slash reports, which is what, guys? Tip of your tongue should be saying the financial statements, right? Everything a company does, right? Sales, loans, expenses, income, everything must be presented, right? And it must be presented through the IASB with the help of the conceptual framework, which helps to create IFRSs, okay, that are essential for users, preparers, and the board. But do not forget that when the standard steps in, a standard has the final say. Okay, summarized what we've just learned. What is the purpose of general purpose financial reports? It is to provide financial information about the financial position, statement of financial position, financial performance, which is shown in the statement of profit or loss, and the cash flow of the reporting entity that is useful. The word useful is very important in this section. The information needs to be useful, guys. Once again, the word useful is important. Hopefully, I can get to why. Right? It needs to be useful to users in making economic decisions. And who are these users? existing and potential investors. If I want to invest in a company, I need to see its financial statements to ensure that I'm making a wise investment, to ensure that this company does not have any debts that will trap me, right? To ensure that we can trust that our money will grow at a decent percentage. Our financial statements show us all of those things, okay? Lenders and creditors, right? If we'd like to borrow money, okay, as a singular person, all right, let me just pause. I see the chat has a question. All right, don't worry. I plan to cover the whole document first, okay, before I actually send it. I'm trying to encourage people to join the lesson, okay, but don't worry. We've got your back. The government, okay, lenders and creditors. Yes, as a singular person, if you want to get a loan, if you want to buy something on credit, you need to have a credit score. How do they check your credit score? They check, are you working? They check your 3 months bank statement. In the same kind of scenario, financial statements allow our creditors to see if they can actually borrow, if they can actually borrow money to us. Okay. Then there's the government, obviously, imports, export, they need to track the economics side of things. Financial statements need to be used as well. Employees, yes, employees actually need to get a feel of what is how much money is running through an organization if they are in the position to negotiate preferable salaries. Customers, yeah, customers, I don't know what customers could do with information, I guess, if they'd like to invest as well. And community, I mean, I guess for the sake of transparency, right? And then we go to the financial statements we've already covered, okay? Right here, SFP, Statement of Financial Position. This is what it deals with: assets, liabilities, equities, income and expenses is your PL, changes in equity, capital, and drawings. It does get more advanced, but for now, they're going to take it easy on you. Statement of changes in equity is your capital and your drawings, and statement of cash flows. I won't lie, guys. Statement of cash flows, it goes down. Yeah, I cannot lie to you. I think that one we're gonna start revising it like a week before semester two opens, like what we're doing now, because it's serious business. Okay. Then we have something called notes to the financial statements, also professionally known as disclosure. I will show you a notes document, but it's not too urgent at the time being, okay? But notes to the financial statements essentially tell you that they essentially tell you how every subheading is moving in your statements. So if you have an asset, if you have a truck, as you advance in accounting, in a statement you would have to show like how much it depreciated by, so that you can provide a carrying value or how much it's worth. That's where impairment starts to come in as well, which you will learn about during your PPE. When you advance, you will start using your notes to just plot your figures into your statement of financial position. It will all make sense later on, but for now, just keep calm, take it day by day, take it as it comes. Okay. So these notes need to be understood in order for you to accurately interpret the financial statements. Okay. Financial statements. What is the importance of financial statements? Right? This is the professional standard definition. They provide us with information about the entity's economic resources, which are assets. That's where perk comes in, Percocet, Molly Percocet, like Maskoff. That's where perk comes in with assets. All right. And then claims against the reporting entity, that's liabilities. Okay. And then the changes in those resources and claims, that is your equity. So if you guys do not understand what these things are by now, I just give up. I'm joking. I'm honestly joking. If you don't understand, private message me, ask me questions. I will answer them as promptly as I can. But I sincerely hope that you guys understand. Okay? Then other terminology that goes along with financial statements: reporting entity, that is essentially the business in question. When we present our journals and general ledgers, we do it from the entity's perspective. So you need to essentially envision yourself as the accountant of the entity in order for you to record the transactions efficiently, right? So that is the entity preparing the financial statements. Guys, who is the okay? Who are the financial statements directed to? So the class is ending in 9 minutes. I'm giving you a minute. Who are the financial statements created for? Can someone please text it in the chat? I just want to ensure that you guys were listening. Yes, yes, I see lenders and other creditors, potential investors. Lovely. And under what broad subheading can we group these people? Customers, employees. Yes. What subheading can we group these people under? Yes, users. That is the word I'm looking for. Users. That is amazing. Okay, for users, right? Then there's the reporting period. Okay, the reporting period is the time span in which the entity reports financial performance and position. Right? This is usually a period of a year. Okay, it's usually a period of a year. In fact, when they question you from now until third year, it will be a period of a year. That is known as the reporting period. Let's say it starts on 1 January and it ends on 31 December. Okay? Or it starts in 1 March and then it will end on the 28th or 29th of Feb. Okay? So that is your reporting period. And then your reporting date is usually the last day of the month for your reporting period, in which now you have to report everything that's happened in the year, also considering everything that's happened before that year. So then, if your assets increased, you have to declare that your assets increased. If they decreased, so on and so forth. Now, this is the one of the most important sections. Okay, reporting date, sorry, reporting date. Last day of the reporting period, yes, I told you. So if it's 1 Jan to 31 December, reporting date will be 31 December. If it's 1 July to 30 June, the reporting date will be 30 June. Okay? And reporting period is a year. Now we come to qualitative characteristics of useful financial information. So there's 5 minutes. I want to introduce this to you the best way possible so that for the next class, you guys have an understanding of what it is. Then we can delve into it. But I will spend at least 5 minutes just recapping everything we've learned today. So, qualitative characteristic of useful financial information. Please remember this qualitative characteristics. Okay, so for GPFR, which is general purpose financial reporting, the information that is in general purpose financial reporting, for it to be useful, the information needs to have the following qualitative characteristics. So if you give me general purpose financial reports without these qualitative characteristics, then it's useless to me. But there is a twist, okay? But for now, just assume that. We have the fundamental qualitative characteristics. So think about the qualitative characteristics as, let's say, a mother who has twin brothers, but she has a favorite, right? So we have the firstborn, older than the twin by 3 minutes. We have the fundamental qualitative characteristics. And then we also have the enhancing qualitative characteristics, right? So the enhancing is the second favorite child, right? Why do I say that? Because, right, information can be useful even if it only has fundamental qualitative characteristics but no enhancing qualitative characteristics. Information is still useful if that is the case. But in a case where there are no fundamental qualitative characteristics but enhancing characteristics are there, the information is useless. Okay? So this one always has to be there for information to be useful. Fundamental always has to be there for information to be useful. right? Enhancing is just a cherry on top, but it's not that deep, not that serious. It's not needed, but you need to know the theory of it. I'm just teaching you the principle. They can ask you, please list three enhancing qualitative characteristics, or they'll say, please list the fundamental qualitative characteristics. Okay? And under these characteristics, we have subheadings. For for the qualitative characteristics to be fundamental, they need to have relevance and faithful presentation, right? And then for the information to be enhancing, it needs to have comparability, verifiability, timeliness, and understandability. So I created a little abbreviation. So just envision the enhancing qualitative characteristics as having a funky hairstyle called the V cut. What does V cut stand for? Verifiability, comparability, understandability, and timeliness. Right? So enhancing qualitative characteristics. The second favorite doesn't need to be there. Also has a weird haircut. Yo, sucks to be him, but it happens. It's life. V cut. Okay, and then the fundamental, for information to be fundamentally useful, it needs to have relevance, right? So it must be predictive. It should be able to predict the future. Okay, someone says, please repeat. I only have 2 minutes, guys. So I'll go over this again. Actually, let me conclude here. But you guys get the gist of it. Please just spam thumbs up, and then I will let you know in the next classes. Do you guys get it? Like, make noise, guys. Make noise. Spam thumbs up in the chat. Spam in the chat. I know there's more of you guys. Spam. Make the Google Meet crash. All right, lovely guys. So I hope this means you guys understand what happened today. I will post a poll to ask for your feedback. I will probably have another class tomorrow, I won't lie. There will be an economics 1A class happening shortly, okay, which will also introduce you to economics 1A, and the link will be sent on the group. Okay, thank you all for joining me. I will see you guys very soon, and thank you for being an amazing bunch of students. Hey, but now why is the thumbs down, Renelwe? What happened? What happened? Mohammed looks confused. What time? Economics class is at 7. 30 minutes, guys. It's at 7. 30 minutes. Okay, guys. I see people on the PDF. Don't worry, in due time, Mulifa, don't rush. Don't rush, Mulifa. But you will get it. Don't stress. Qualitative. Don't worry, we're going to repeat everything tomorrow. The call's about to end. Do not worry. You guys can leave as well. See you later. Bye, guys.